Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Drama Surgery podcast. In this episode, I am covering, I think this is going to be my second Japanese drama review. And guess what? It's a BL as well. The very first one I covered was Eternal Yesterday, which I really loved. It's was a really, really good drama. And this time again, it's yet another BL. I think maybe Japan is just like dramas made in Japan, like BLs made in Japan are just very, very good. So today's episode, I'm going to be covering Tokyo in April is dot dot dot. That's literally the title of the drama, at least in English. And I think it's also the same in Japanese, like the dot dot dot, the ellipsis there is also in the Japanese one as well. And I really like that title. There's something about it that's very romantic. I don't know what it is about that, but Japan just has that down. They make very little things sound very romantic, right? And so yeah, this is a 2023 currently airing BL drama on MBS. And I actually didn't know this, but actually a lot of the BL I have watched as aired on MBS. And so even Eternal Yesterday is also by the same network. And so they are doing something right. And I hope they continue doing it because honestly, I've only watched the first 3 episodes because that's all that's out at the moment. And I have to say, this is an excellent, excellent drama already. It's so excellent that I had to go read all the comments on my drama list about this drama. And that's when I found out that it's based on a book. Or not a book, but a manga. But I'll come back to that later. So, what is this drama about? Basically, it follows Kazuma and Ren, who are, I guess, childhood friends that reunite after, I think, 10 years of being apart. And Kazuma is kind of in the dark, and us, the audience as well, is kind of in the dark about why they ended up going their separate ways. Because what happened was that when they were in middle school, something happened. And again, spoiler alert for those who have not seen this drama. I do spoil things in all my reviews. This is just something I do because it allows me talk more to the drama than if I was giving a spoiler-free review. And so, yeah, somehow they had an issue when they were in middle school, right? We all know what it is. It's not a secret, but that's kind of what resulted in Ren going to France to study and also Kazuma going back abroad. So yeah, that's basically what it is. Like the synopsis of this is just what is the mystery behind this two and their history together. And Kazuma doesn't have any idea because for him things kind of happened while he was in a coma, right? And so yeah, it's really in between this that we see more about these two and the relationship they had growing up and the relationship they are also building now. And honestly, I have to say this is a very, very good, very, very good 3 episodes I've aired. It was so good, like I mentioned, that I had to go and see what this old drama was about because people seem to know what it was about. And I was like, why am I the only one that has no idea, about the larger story in this? And so I went and I found out that it was based on a manga. And trust me, when I found that out, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go check because I couldn't wait. I needed to know what secret the character Ren was keeping. Ren is kind of mysterious to us in the sense that there's a lot going on in his behavior, in his the way he acts towards Kazuma, that you're not sure why he acts that way. Right. So to give a background, and this is really a spoiler at this point, Ren is gay, right? Obviously, it's a BL. But Ren is gay, right? And kind of into Kazuma after, they spent time together in middle school. And so throughout their middle school, as they've become friends, Ren is in love with Kazuma, right? And Kazuma is really doesn't seem like he's gay, right? And that's the perception that Ren has. But it's funny because Kazuma is as straight as a circle, right? But for Ren, he can't see that. He just sees Kazuma as that straight friend of his. And, it's at some point that when Ren, I think, is going to go have sex with this adult that, Kazuma finds out and then offers that, okay, why not have sex with me rather than have intercourse with this stranger that you don't really know, right? And he's an adult and he's basically pedophilia, right? And so they do the deed, right, in an hotel, like a love hotel, and Kazuma ends up crying. Not for the reason Ren thinks he's crying. Ren thinks he's crying because he kind of didn't want to do what he did, like he didn't want to have sex with him, right? And so he felt like, I guess for Ren, he felt like he forced him to kind of say yes to sexual intercourse. And so Ren has this that skewed view when Kazuma starts crying, and I think Kazuma cries till he passes out and goes into a coma or something like that. Like he passes out and gets sick because they're in a love motel, it's kind of dirty and stuff like that. And I guess Kazuma is more of the weaker, he has a weaker constitution. So, it's in that means that I think Ren calls the ambulance. The ambulance comes, takes Kazuma to the hospital, and, it's in this process that the parents are trying to find out why were they in the love motel in the first place, right? And that's when Ren, because Kazuma was crying, I guess he also kind of internalized that Kazuma didn't want to do what he did. And so he just said that, he forced him to have sex with him. Like he was really honest about it, or what he thought was honest to him, because that's what it seemed like, and that's really not what happened. Kazuma was just sad because Kazuma actually likes him in the way, I have to say, it reminds me of Hira from My Beautiful Man. If you guys remember that drama, the male lead character, Hira, he's kind of extremely in love with Kyoyi, to the point where he kind of is blinded. Kyoyi is kind of this like god to him. It's almost in the same way that Kazuma is so in love with Ren that he started crying because I guess he was so sad that Ren's first time was in this dingy hotel. He felt like Ren deserved better, and so that was why I was crying, that Ren deserved better. But for Ren, he's not seeing that. He just sees his friend crying after they have sex, and he I guess assumes that like he must be crying because he didn't want to do it, which was not the case. So that's what he tells the adults, and that's like it gets him into trouble, right? To the point where I think they disown Ren, ship him abroad. I think according to the manga, and I don't want to spoil this any further, but like it gets really bad for Ren that he has to change his name, right? And that's kind of where they are at. And so when they meet 10 years later, Ren is still kind of walking through that. I feel like to me there's a lot of internalized homophobia in Ren, in that he feels that being gay is dirty in some ways, or he feels like he's sullying Kazuma. I think that's the feeling he gets about that. Whereas Kazuma is just like, Kazuma is so in love with him. And I like the way they've portrayed Kazuma in this drama, in that Kazuma is very, like I mentioned, very like Hira, in the sense that he's very in love with Ren, and he's a very kind of innocent character that is very pure. And I think maybe that's what Ren sees, and Ren thinks that he has kind of sullied Kazuma in some way because he forced him to have sex when he did not want to. But right, Kazuma really doesn't care. Kazuma is as gay as he is, but he can't see that, and they have that misunderstanding going, even though Kazuma is quite open about how he feels, right? He's very doe-eyed in that sense, right? He really likes Ren and wants to be with Ren. And so yeah, this drama has actually been good so far. I really, really, really like the chemistry between the two male leads. Like, it's so good that really, if you're not watching the drama, you should, because there's nothing better than this at this moment. Like, it's really, really good, and the scenes between them are just well done, right? There's just enough of everything that it's very poignant to me. It's very, very intense the way it's shot, because I mean, they will talk more about this, because again, we are just in episode 3, and I think it's going up to episode 8, so there will be more angst as we see the background of what happened to Ren when he told the parents and stuff like that. But that's basically what I got from the manga, that like that's what happened, because I had to know. I could not know, because it was actually giving me anxiety. Even though I don't like manga, I'll be honest with you, I actually don't like manga. I don't like webtoon, just manhwa, all those kind of comics. I really dislike them, actually. I'm more of a like book person. I can't stand anime, I can't stand manga, right? But I was like, okay, I'm just gonna check it out to see what the story is, and then come back and kind of be more devoted to the drama. And because I saw like the synopsis of the manga and kind of read a bit of it, I know what's happening or what's gonna happen. So I'm very looking forward to how these two will portray the rest of the story. And I think that's where like I have this anticipation in my heart that like it's going to be so good, and I'm really, really, really looking forward to it. That, you know, this is really, really good. I don't know what else to say. I feel like if you're not watching this, you should. That is if you like beer. If you don't like beer, obviously to avoid this drama. It deserves a way higher rating than it does on my drama list. It has like a 7.7 at the time of this recording. And honestly, they can do better. I've seen worse dramas that have better ratings. So honestly, it could do better. But I feel like anything that's not Korean drama really, and maybe to an extent Chinese drama, kind of falls by the wayside on my drama list. Also because Japanese dramas don't really market towards Western audiences. And you can tell because if you've ever tried to Google a Japanese drama, you realize that you always have to like Google the romanticization of the word in Japan, like the word in Japanese. It's never in English. They never use English titles the way Korea always uses English titles, right? Or at least when they are like marketing it to the West. Whereas for Japan, they don't care. They're gonna, leave it the way it is. You're gonna have to guess and, make some errors as you type in the name. So there is that, and I think that's probably why there's just not as much traction towards Japanese dramas. But honestly, I wish there was, because they do it so well. And there's something about Japanese dramas that they make very little mundane things interesting. Like they tell mundane stories in very interesting ways, and that's I think also what this drama does well, in that there's not much going on in the way I feel, at least in the way things are short and stuff, but it's just very poignant. I would say that the best I can describe it is that Japanese dramas always have this slice of life to how they shoot things that makes it very interesting. And I think that's just something I resonate with, that I really like. It's just very mellow, very fleshed out, very, very good. And so this drama is another one that I feel like if you're not sure what to watch for the week, you should watch this drama, right? There's only 3 episodes out so far. I'm looking forward to the rest. But honestly, if you don't have anything to watch, check this out. Seriously. It's really hard waiting for another episode because the episodes air once a week on Fridays, which is so annoying. And also it's very short. It's like 30 minutes per episode. So it's everything is working against me for this drama. So yeah, if you're not watching the drama, do check it out. I think it's highly, highly watchable. And there's just something about it that I feel like I had to talk about it in this episode because it's very, very good. I don't know if I'll cover the drama again when it finishes airing, just to give like my final thoughts and everything. This episode is just really first thoughts on the drama. I'll see if I'll like it so much that I feel like I need to do another review, like final review of it. But I felt like this deserves an episode. This drama has kept me up, kept me googling, so like it deserves some love on my podcast. And so yeah, that's really it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. Have a nice day. Bye bye.